Alright, hey guys, welcome back to some crypto. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC. We'll take a look at BTC on the macro scale and what type of price action we could be anticipating over the next a few months based on the Elliott wave, based on Elliott wave analysis and the Elliott wave directional trend we've been discussing over the last few weeks or even like a few months, right? So let's go ahead and dive into the analysis, right, based on the Elliott wave analysis first, right? So as you can see, over the last few months, we've been discussing the the probability of the 15K being the bottom, and BTC most likely going to start its wave 1, and after we correct down to find our wave 2, we're most likely going to start a wave 3 directional trend, right? Just to explain, just to give you guys a very simple example of what we've been looking for. Okay, so if you take a look at our bull market of 2018 up to 2022, you can say 2022, right? You can see like we did print a 5-way structure to the upside, right? The wave 1 was our move from like 3K back in December 2018 up to a 14K in summer 2019. We printed a clean impulsive move to the upside, right? Over 200% move, and basically retrace nearly 70% of that, right, to create our wave 2 correctional move, right? And as soon as we finish off our wave 2 correction, you can see like we push back up above the monthly 21 EMA. Right after the halving, we consolidated above the weekly 21 EMA, and that's when we start to say like, hey, this move right here could be an impulsive move, right, and could potentially push all the way up to 44K. And back then BTC was under like 12K, right? We were targeting 44K and all that good stuff, right? So we created our wave 3, got our double top right here. You know, price action was making high highs, and our indicator, basically our RSI, right, was printing some lower highs right there. Okay, our first high back in April 2021, you could say May also, right? And our second high in October, November 2021. I mean second low right here, okay? But the second high in terms of like a price action, just about like a November, okay, back in early November 2021. So we printed the bearish divergence on the monthly basis, right? And basically started our downtrend. That's when we said, okay guys, we could be starting a new downtrend based on Elliott wave, right? Because we already got our 5-way structure, got a bearish divergence between your wave 3 and your wave 5. It is a sign of a potential reversal and all that good stuff. And that's how we basically started the bearish downtrend. And as you can see right here, we printed a 5-way structure to the upside and another 5-way structure to the downside. However, the difference between these two 5 waves, right, is like this move right here was impulsive, right? We got 5-wave impulsive, and the move we had down here from like a 69 down to 15K was very corrective. Even though you could say like it is impulsive, right, depending on the time frame you're looking at, but if you're looking at it on the monthly basis, you can see like it is not that impulsive, okay? Over, for nearly over 12, I mean, you could say like a 12 month, right? You can see like we did not have like, let's say 6-7 months of an impulsive move like what we had right here. You can see like the move we had from like a March 2020 around like a 4K up to March 2021, right? It was very impulsive. We didn't get like many sideway-ish correction, okay, and all that good stuff, right? So what could we say, okay, based on the directional move we had right here? Okay, what we said was clearly this was a bullish divergence. Yes, we couldn't see it on the monthly basis, right? However, if we take a look at it on the weekly basis, if you go back and watch my videos like back in November, okay, November, December, January 2023, we talk about like the 5-wave impulse, 5-wave corrective to the downside with the bullish divergence, right, on our side. So we talked about it a long time ago. We said, okay guys, this is clearly a correction, right? We got the 5-wave move, And once we pull back up, right, potentially up to 50% to 0.618, most bears, right, they're going to come out and say, okay, we're going to be doing something like that. And we will talk about the probability of getting something like that. It is not my main thesis. I don't even think like we got more than 10% chance of printing a move like that, but we will just take a look at it, right? So as you can see right here, basically on the weekly basis, we printed the bullish divergence between our wave 3, right, and wave 5. But in term of the WXY, you would say like our wave Y and Z right here. Okay, so we talked about all of that back then, right? So as you can see right here now, after printing our bullish divergence, what was our target? We talked about like BTC pushing back up to the monthly 21 EMA. Back then BTC was around like a 15-16K, and the monthly 21 was around like 28-30K area. So that's why 28 to 30K area was a massive resistance, not just because of the fib retracement and all that good stuff, but because we had our monthly 21 EMA around that level, and we knew it is going to be a tough resistance to take out, right? So we basically consolidated right here for our wave 2. We did not get a deep wave 2, right? Just if you take a look at the wave 2 we had back in 2020, the wave 2 was very deep, nearly like 80% retracement. However, the wave 2 we just printed in 2023 was very boring. Okay, it was only like a 382 retracement, so 30% retracement instead of a let's say 80% retracement, excuse me. Basically instead of a 80% retracement like what we had right here. Okay, so as you can see right now, right after we printed our wave 2, the best thing to do after that, right, is like to look for your wave 3. And I said it, our wave 3 most likely going to be impulsive, but I'm not expecting, I don't think bulls going to be strong enough like the last bull run to print a 20x move in terms of like a directional move. Okay, let's say from like a 3K to like a 70K. We're not going to get those type of move for our wave 3. Why? Because of the diminishing return. Okay, so since we're not expecting BTC to give us the same type of return we had back in between 2018 to basically 2021, right? We could say like we're not going to get like a 20x move from like our wave 2 up to our wave 3, something like that. Okay, so our directional move for our wave 3, we could be looking for a 1.618 extension. Okay, just like what we did back in 2020 when we were looking for 44K to be our directional trend, right? A good example is a quick example, right? From swing low, just about like a 3K, 14K, swing high, back to swing low around like a 4K. We were targeting just about like a 44K right here, right? And as you can see, depending on how you basically draw your fibs, right? But 44K was our directional target, okay? And we hit 44K on the dot, even though we pushed higher. So we're going to apply the same exact, directional trend. Going to be looking for 1.618 extension. And if you do a swing low, just about like a 15.5, swing high, just about like a, let's say 32K, and another swing high right there, swing low actually right there, you're going to get your directional trend 1.618 extension, just about like a, let's see, let's do it properly for Leroy, just about like a 70K, 70 to 80K area, right? So it could be higher, or it could be also short, but the directional trend going to be somewhere around like a all-time high, basically above all-time high, just like what we did right here. Our directional trend 44K, we even broke out up to like a 63K before retracing back lower. So we could expect something similar over the next like a few months. I don't think like we will get there in Q1, potentially, after after Q2, right? Let's say after summer 2024, we could get a volatile move above all-time high. A volatile move above all-time high, right? So just based on the 4-year cycle, we're expecting BTC to break out all-time high before, by the time of the, right after the halving, we could say, but I would say like 3 to 6 months after the halving, we should or could be breaking out above all-time high. So I would just say by Q4 2024, we could definitely be completing the wave 3 to the upside, potentially above 70K, 80K, 90K, who knows. But the directional trend on the macro basis over the next like 6 to 9 months is up. In the short to medium term, if we take a look at it based on the monthly time frame, right? Let's take a look at it based on the monthly and moving average. The monthly 21 EMA and the weekly 21 EMA. So if you take a look at the your white moving average right there, that's our weekly 21 EMA on our monthly basis, right? So whenever we are in a bull market, right, we tend to stay above, okay, on the monthly basis, we tend to stay above the monthly 21 EMA, and at the same time above the weekly 21 EMA on a monthly basis. So what does it mean? It means like BTC can still retest the weekly 21 EMA on a monthly basis, right? However, we might not see price action closing a monthly candle below the weekly 21 EMA. Okay, so as you can see right here, the weekly 21, right now it is just about like a 37K. Could we retest 37K? Absolutely, right? Absolutely, we can still retest 37K. However, will we see a monthly close, right, below 37K? That's going to be the big challenge because we haven't seen it before, but it doesn't mean like we cannot get it. But the probability based on the 4-year cycle, based on the based on the price history between the monthly candle and the weekly 21 EMA, right? The probability is very, very low. I would say less than 5% chance because we haven't seen it before, because we could even say like a 0%, right, chance of seeing a monthly candle closing below the weekly 21 EMA. Okay, so it doesn't matter what type of volatility we're going to see over the next like a few months, as long as BTC can basically maintain a every single body candle of the monthly time frame above the weekly 21 EMA, the trend on the macro basis will still be up. At the same time, I'm not expecting like over the next like a 15 to 18 months to get like a clean bullish monthly candles. At some point we will get some bearish monthly candles. However, we just have to be ready for that, for that possibility to retest the weekly 21 EMA on a monthly, or even retest the monthly 21 EMA on a monthly basis. However, we just don't want to close below the weekly 21. Hopefully it is clear enough, right? So if you take a look at it right here, throughout our bull market of 20 the bull market started basically as soon as we closed the monthly candle above the weekly 21 EMA. That's when the bull market started. That was back in October 2015, right? You can see we've been hugging the weekly 21 on a monthly basis, but never closed a single candle below it for like nearly over 2 years, right? So you take a look at it right here. So close a bearish candle, August 2015. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. August 2015, that's when we closed the monthly candle below the weekly 21 right there, as you can see. And we did not close another candle below it till basically March 2018, after the bear market started, right? So as you can see also right here, as soon as we closed the monthly candle after the COVID crash, right, we closed a monthly candle above the weekly 21 EMA, April 2020. We stayed in a bull market, right, all the way up to 63K, right? So something to basically keep in mind, it might be too early to even talk about like monthly closing below the monthly closing below the weekly 211 and all that good stuff, or even monthly closing below the monthly 220 EMA, right? In terms of indicators, MACD, it is still looking pretty good, right? No sign of bearishness, but it is not going to give us enough data, right, to analyze. So it could just stay positive for the next like a 10 to 12 month or like even 18 month, right? So it's not going to give us like enough data to be analyzing and all that good stuff, right? So hopefully it makes sense, right? So now let's go ahead and entertain ourselves, right, regarding the bearish scenario. Okay, I just have to put it out there because most bears are still looking for this pattern, but they just have to be very, very cautious, right? Because with your X right here, right, you just don't know how high your X is going to be, right? Even though BTC is slightly bearish, right, over the last 30 to 45 days, it's been moving, it's been basically stagnant over the last 45 days, right? But you cannot say like it is printing a reversal pattern as of yet, right? So you just don't know. Your X could even go all the way up to 70K. That's the problem, I'm seeing with this pattern. Because if we go all the way up to 70K, you can still do something like that. You can still do something like that, right? Remember, bears back in Q1 or Q2 2023, this is what they were printing, right? This is what they were printing. And I said it clearly when BTC was around like 15K. I was saying it in my members video. I was saying, guys, we just have to be mindful, right? We are bullish. We're going to be staying bullish between 16K, 17K, 18K. That's going to be our accumulation range. However, we just have to be very cautious with the bears, because as soon as we push back up towards 382, 50% to 0.618 retracement, they're going to be printing something like that. And that's exactly what they're doing, right? And the next step for the bears, right, if this scenario fails, they're going to just move the goalposts and do something like that. We are still in a bear market, right? Why? Because we've seen this pattern before. They're going to do something like that. They're going to be like, oh, okay, you take a look at this pattern, how we got rejected at 63, dumped down to 3K, retested the top. They're going to say this pattern is similar to, we're going to be printing something similar. So basically, this was just, a preview of the bigger pattern. And at the same time, they could basically give you some valid, examples, okay? For instance, if you take a look at the SPX back in, let's say 2000 to 2009, 9 years, they're going to go ahead and say, okay, you see what we printed right here on the SPX? That's what we're going to be printing with BTC on the macro basis right here. So mentally, bulls just have to be ready for all these scenarios. I'm not saying they will play out, but you just have to understand the narrative of the bears ahead of time. Because every single bullish pattern, right, has a hidden bearish pattern. But the problem with that hidden bearish pattern is like, what is the probability of that bearishness, of that bearish scenario to be playing out? Okay, I'm not saying based on Elliott wave, this is not a valid pattern, right? All I'm saying are valid patterns, right? All I'm saying is like the probability based on the 4-year cycle, right? The probability based on, the fundamentals, okay, is very low. It's very low, okay? Most of you guys know by now I love, double top, double bottoms. However, if you take a look at it right here, was that bullish, right? When BTC retested 30K back in 2022? No. In our premium group, we were calling for a retracement all the way down to 19K. And we were bearish all along the downtrend. From like, let's say 60K nearly, right? All the way down to like a 21K plus minus 10%. And we were accumulating between 19K to 16K on the macro basis. Right? So just be mindful, right? the pattern right here, it is a feasible pattern. I'm not saying it is a wrong Elliott wave pattern, right? However, the probability of printing an impulsive move down right here, as long as we staying above the monthly 21 EMA and staying above the monthly, staying above the weekly 21 EMA on a monthly basis, this pattern is likely not to be playing out. Is likely to fail, basically. Hopefully it makes sense, right? So you could have said the same thing right here back in 2020. You could have said, okay, we're going to be printing something like that. Myself, right, I thought we were going to basically print a similar move, because I was bearish from, like, let's say roughly around like a 13K, 14K area all the way down to 4K. Okay, and I flipped really bullish, right, after I zoom out, and I was like, okay guys, it's already nearly 2 months before the high probability setup, right, in terms of like a breaking over of all-time high, 3 years after the bull market peak, right? Because our previous bull market peak was December 2017. BTC breaks all-time high every 3 years, so there was no need to be bearish, let's say in September 2020, right? Because most people were bearish right here, right? Myself, I was bearish in this range for like a 3 to 4 months, and I was like, okay, now it is time to zoom out, right? On the 50-day cycle was super bullish, so I was like, as long as we break out above 10.5 by October 27th, 2020, right, we most likely going to get a zero resistance after that. And that's exactly what happened, right? So just because you can print something doesn't mean like market will respect it. Doesn't mean like market will respect it, right? So let me take a look at the chat room really quickly. I just wanted to make it a very short live update. What's up, Tails? Kelly, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Kelly P in the house. We got Crypto Sandra in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Who, me? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. It's been a while, right? So we'll see, what type of a wave analysis we're going to get over the next like a 6 to 9 months. But as I said, since like November 2022, right, we said clearly the bottom, the bottom was in. 15.5 was the absolute bottom. Many people are calling it the false bottom, but BTC never printed a false bottom. It doesn't mean it cannot print it, right? But the chance of printing another bottom as of now is very low. Okay, so and if you take a look at the SPX, the only chance, right, BTC could print that pattern is like if and only if, right, the S&P 500s, right, basically print something like that. Then we could say like, okay, BTC could potentially print, that pattern, right? But you just don't know, because the S&P 500 could basically even be printing. I'm not saying it will, but it might not even drop that low, because it could be just a triangular formation. You just don't know. That's the problem with these basically double tops and potential double bottom, because you could get a what? A triangular formation in this range, which is possible. I don't think it will, but it is possible. Okay, but I don't think it will, right? So nearly pushing for a new all-time high. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is looking pretty good. Already printed a new all-time high. The Dow Jones already printed a new all-time high. So the probability of BTC going for a new all-time high is extremely high, unless the NASDAQ, okay, basically drops back down below the monthly 21 EMA and try to retest the October 2022 lows right here. Okay, so, and it is not even guaranteed, okay, because it could just print another higher low and basically keep on rock and rolling right there. Okay, so hopefully it makes sense. I'm still bullish basically on the NASDAQ as long as we can stay above the weekly 21, monthly 21, right? And at the same time, if we take a look at the S&P, as long as we can stay above the monthly 21 EMA, the likelihood of staying positive over the next like a few months going to be extremely high, right? So many people are going to be printing potentially a bearish pattern like that. However, you just don't know if this is valid, right? Because we're still above our monthly 21 EMA. So it is not a bearish pattern because your MACD could still be pushing higher, right? It could still be pushing higher. So you don't want to basically be printing a bearish pattern without a highly probable setup, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna cut it short. I just wanted to basically give you guys a quick update. Don't want to make it a 1 hour live stream. I already recorded the video like 10-15 minutes, but I was like, I just needed to do it live. It is more fun basically doing it live than just recording and editing and all that good stuff, right? All right, guys, I'm just gonna cut it short. We'll go for another live stream depending on if the market going to be volatile and all that good stuff, right? So make sure to join the public Telegram group, link in the description. You can also join some premium group for the macro analysis, weekly analysis, monthly analysis, quarterly analysis and all that good stuff with some altcoin setups, short to medium term, macro setups and all that good stuff, right? Link in the description. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching.